Good morning / afternoon / evening / wherever you are, boys. I'm missing a window. Not like an actual window. That window. Turn that music down. Get it down. That's better. Interesting morning. Not sure whether we expand like from here or if we manage to get a retrace below these lows. I lost OBS. I would ideally like us to see. I thought it was SMT there. There was not. I'd ideally like us to come and knock out these pre-market lows, but it has done a lot of the things that you would expect it to do for then it to just rally. So we'll see. There wasn't really a clean setup in there for me to take. So yeah, like not really a clean setup in here at all. No, that's not even a fair value gap, is it? No. Yeah, no. Unless you took that fair value gap, but that's pretty aggressive. Like, I bet, did it even come into an equilibrium? Oh yeah, it did come into a discount. But no fair value gap. So, we do have this fair value gap now. From this range here. But it's also 8 minutes until the market opens, so I'm very unlikely to trade that right as that hits, unless it looks really clean. I will frame the risk just so I'm prepared. Go over there. Cheeky bugger. It would look something like this. And then we have buy side higher up there. That's my target for like the day. I'm kind of expecting us to just rally. I can use 3 contracts on that, god damn. I'm expecting us to just rally, mainly because, so obviously yesterday I was looking for the short towards those equal lows on ES, but then in the afternoon we knocked out low of the day going into lunch, and in the afternoon just rallied and managed to close back above this daily fair value gap. We managed to close back above in the upper half of this daily fair value gap. That combined with the fact that we have equal highs here, we have this buy side here. We're in bullish market structure. All of this says to me, and also the NQ, so those equal lows down there, NQ swept them. So all of those things say to me, at least, that today is a day to be a bull. I'm not expecting London low to get swept, even though we do have 10 AM news, so really you could expect it. Personally, I'm not. I'm expecting this 15-minute fair value gap here to be like the low of the AM session if it doesn't put the low in here. Where did we close? We're gonna obviously gap up, so. Good morning, Mr. Dompy. I have some work things going on, but I'm trying to listen as well. You get back to work, Dompy. I'd love to. Well, I wouldn't love it, but I'd find it very funny if your boss or whoever just came over to you and was like, "Stop watching that fucking 20-year-old UK bloke. This is the 10th time this week, Mr. Wiz." We know he's literally the algorithm, but you gotta stop watching him. Get back to work. Okay, no, that makes me very, very sus of this low here now. Look how smooth it is an NQ. NQ compared to ES, NQ has left very smooth lows. She used to trade options. Okay, that's pretty cool. I feel like that's probably a lot more common in America. You don't really get that in the UK. People just don't really care about investing as much, and like especially trading, like options trading is like, if you said what's options trading to like 95% of people in the UK, they're probably like, what the fuck are you talking about? You mean like that scammy Forex stuff? That's what most people in the UK's response. They either say crypto or Forex. I really would expect these lows to get swept. Really would. For now, we sit and wait. 10 AM news, remember, even though it's jolts. So, to be honest, I'll quite happily trade into jolts if I see something that's pretty clear. Finish the coke off, go to the war. Do you have this in America? I don't know if you have this in America or not. I feel like you don't. On like water bowls, we have like, it's like attached to the drink. You have to like rip it off. It's to stop like bottle lids just ending up everywhere, I'm pretty sure, but it doesn't work. And it's just the biggest pain in the arse. I'm sure Americans don't have that. No, yeah, I didn't think so. It's a pain in the arse. Also, welcome, Mr. Cooper. Fully come off, yeah. Must be nice. Must be nice. Americans lair. My glasses are sat really weird on my face. There we go. They were like hovering above my nose. The basis for this 15 minute is measuring from that run to this high. That's the first discount. And obviously, ideally we want to see it come down to a discount before we long it. And it's overlapping with this hourly. I did like a top-down analysis kind of thing with this hourly. Hourly to the 15. I recorded a video just before this, which is like my pre-market routine. My three-step pre-market routine. So you'll see that, I'll probably post that on like Friday. And it's going to be interesting to see how this day plays out, because obviously I basically went through step by step how I do my pre-market like analysis and how I use it, and obviously I did it like the same way I would do it normally. So I'm expecting today, ideally, price to come lower into here and then react from here and go higher. So if we get that, it'll be pretty cool. If not, then I'll just re-record it until I get it right. Okay, we're open. And did we tap that 5 minute? We did. So that is a 2022. But I'm I got very scared to enter that. Rightly so. It's the 9:30 open. I very rarely trade straight into the 9:30 open. Especially when NQ looks like that. Like, that's asking to be swept, in my opinion. I'm going to watch NQ side by side. But if this does start displacing, then obviously, I guess NQ is just leaving them lows there. So then I'll potentially get in on some continuation move, but I'm not entering it here. This is 250-50. If we can sweep this and even dig into this, that'll be ideal. And okay, there's that low swept. NQ is melting. Big SMT here. I'm going to go in with 2. Oh, I'm massively over leveraged. Let me buy one back. Maximum position. Oh, wait, no, I need to sell one. Okay, you know what? We're just going to be over leveraged and probably lose. Ouch. That was a terrible fill. My basis was that if NQ swept this now, then we can get this move on ES, but I will, like, instantly, if it goes back up to break even, I'm going to sell one. I tried to buy another one. It's looking good. It's just volatile. I'm going to sell one there just to... Because what did I lose on that? 100. Okay, yeah. Now we're within risk. This is that was a perfectly like sound entry. It's because as long as I get in before this high gets broken, it's okay. Obviously assuming that I'm risked properly. But it was pretty terrible fill, all things considered. I did feel a bit like, oh god, no. But that's because I accidentally over-leveraged. I went in with 2 because when I was measuring it there, it was 3 contracts for like my risk for there. So I assumed like, okay, 2 probably is the right amount. Obviously assuming is a pretty bad idea. We can watch ES now. We don't need to. NQ's done what I wanted to do. What's my risk currently? 337? Okay. We broke that high now, so now it's... No, it's okay. I'm tempted to ride this. Can't really. Nah, I'm not going to do that with 1 contract. I wish I had 2. I'll try and scale, but I don't think or not scale. I'll try and pyramid, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Like without over risking. Mr. Geordie. Welcome, Mr. Geordie. This looks good, like, this does look good now, so I'm very content in this trade. I just wish I'd obviously gotten a better fill. Oh well. That's very explosive price action. I'm gonna measure my risk based off of that. So 50% of that target range is reached, so stop can be reduced. I'll put my stop just under that low that we put in. Slightly reduce it. Because, oh, voice break. 50% of this entry here, which would have been my, like, normal entry to that range there, we've hit 50% of this range. So when that happens, I can reduce my stop by 25%. 25% would be yeah, 25% would be like on that low. I went just under the low because it does look pretty volatile. But I did want to reduce my stop, so. No, it wasn't a turtle soup, it was a 2022. It was just a bit messy. Also, based off that SMT with the 930 and 830 lows, which are two very good lows to be using for SMT, like time specifically, then ES should be a lot stronger here. My worry is that NQ might want to tank, because it looks like it might. Yeah, NQ might pull us down here. If I lose this trade, I'll probably be hands off until 10 AM. But I even like NQ for longs because it's left those equal highs. It's just like, are we going to go from here? This is perfectly acceptable to long from here, even though it's not at a discount in this range. We did go below equal lows and react off an imbalance, so. But NQ is, whew. NQ is saying, get the fuck down here. My only hope is that NQ is just going into like its discount, which would be this 15 here, which it's basically at. If NQ can get down there, and ES is just seems to be stalling. So my hope is that NQ can chill out and let me make my long play. I would feel a lot better right now because I should be in the green right now, really, if I got the ideal entry. Ugh. What's cool is I actually could have just limit ordered into this, but and like I would have been safe. My stop would have been below there, so I would have been like that would have been a great entry. Like that's a 1 to 3.7 basically to there. Partial at the midpoint of this range. Partial above like what? Partial there actually that would have been first partial there. That 5 minute would have been first partial, which would have been what, like a 1 to 1? Oh no, more than a 1 to 1. It would have been like a 1 to 1.6. Not bad at all. But yeah, I hate 9:30 entries. I take them, but I hate them. I take them because of FOMO, probably. That's probably why I take them. That's why I sometimes will just completely disregard any entry at 9:30 because they're so messy. Ugh. I should probably. I'm thinking maybe like what about no, because it doesn't really make sense to do that either. I was gonna say, do I just not enter trades that are at 9:30 if there's a 10 AM news driver? I definitely don't if there's a 9:45 news driver. That's an absolute. 10 AM it's like that. It's that tipping point. You're like, if there's an entry right at 9:30, potentially entering like when did I enter that? I will have entered it in the 9:30 like 5 minute candle. Am I getting stopped here? Maybe. NQ has chilled out, so NQ, if you could realize that you've got some juice equal highs here and you're bullish, the stubbornness, just tell NQ it's bullish until it does it. That would be lovely. Looks like ass, yeah. It do be ass. I think tomorrow might be the cleanest day of the week, weirdly enough, even though it's NFP Thursday, because of that bank holiday. Or Friday, but I won't be trading Friday. Or I probably won't be trading Friday. Or streaming. Locked my TopStep X account after a good short. Nice. I'm kind of having to tell myself, like, you're in the green here, because if I had that entry that I said, I would be in the green here, but because I entered so high up, I'm in the red. The rules for, like, it's called a close proximity. Come on, speak English. It's called a close proximity. I can't say the word. Proximity. Close proximity entry. It's essentially like you can enter and it's still a valid entry. Not typically what I do, but it is allowed if you follow like exactly the rules of the model. Obviously we have displacement, fair value gap in a discount, retrace into fair value gap. You can enter anywhere in here until we break like this high here. And that's what's called a close proximity. I can't say the fucking word. A close proximity. That doesn't even sound. I don't even sound like I'm saying the word right now. It's that. This. It's this thing here. Because apparently I've forgotten how to speak English. Although I very rarely do them. I never really feel the need to. I feel like the only time I would ever do one is at the 9:30 thing, because it's just so volatile. You kind of can't really limit selling or limit order into the 9:30 entry in case it wicks below. Because this could have, my reasoning for not limit ordering into that is this could have easily, with the 9:30 volatility, shot beyond that low, which is where my stop would have been, if not, and that low. Like, could have easily shot below them and then came back up and closed in this fair value gap. Which then is, like, kind of when you would enter. You wait to see if it wicks down, and then if it wants to come back up and respect it. And that did. So, then it looked like it was potentially going to take off, so that's probably made me partially FOMO into it. But it was still within the rules. It was just a pretty poor entry. Considering it, I must have entered like here. 5175. I entered like here. Am I getting stopped? I think I'm getting stopped. Which is annoying because NQ is stalling now. So why is ES now? Why is ES now dropping? ES was fighting so hard to stay here while NQ dropped off a cliff, and now that NQ is stalled, now ES decides, oh, actually, I will go down. Like I said, if I get stopped here, I'll wait until 10 AM and see what 10 AM wants to do. Oh yeah, that's definitely me stopped, isn't it? I'm hanging on by the skin of my teeth. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Yes, you're scaring me today. You're meant to be the nice index, yes, and you're just scaring me today. My one hope is this looks like a bear flag. So maybe it's gonna fail and then shoot to take profit. Because, you know, retail traders and all that stuff. Yeah, stopped. Okay. 10 AM news. Do your worst. Still absolutely will long the shit out of this. I will still do it. I would be shocked if we go all the way down here. I would be shocked if that happens. Like I say, I'm waiting for this. Would be shocked if this wants to go back down here, because this was such a big retracement yesterday that you would think it's going to go for this, surely. You can't trade this crap, Geordie? Apparently neither can I. apparently neither can I. Oh my god, NQ looks horrid. I mean, it all looks horrid on a 1 minute chart. I am definitely gonna point out in my journal, though, that there was 10 AM news on that day. And there also wasn't strictly a solid swing high to trade off of there as far as a market structure shift. This high, like, is what I was framing it off of, but ideally, this low would have been below that low for that to be a good market structure shift. Yeah. Let's see what this 10 AM news does. Has anyone else, Dom P, traded and made money? Anyone else? Anyone else messed around with this yet? Or is everyone else trading smart and waiting? Dom P went long at the bottom there on NQ, I'm guessing that'll be. Oh, NQ tapped that 15-minute beautifully. Oh, NQ looks so good. On the higher time frames, on this is just horrendous, but oh, don't shoot up now, you just stopped me out. I couldn't have avoided the stop out there, but still. That's an outrageous run-up, 8 minutes before news. I'm going to delete some of these drawings just because there's way too many of them. And we'll move this sell side over here, because it swept that. Oh, I really don't want to long that again, but it does look... Low-key looks good, but I can't. I physically can't, because it's 8 minutes before high impact news. That'd be pretty... It is jolts though. Jolts I don't think I've ever seen do anything, but I don't want to say that. It's also not an ideal entry yet. Like I want to be getting like an A+ setup if I'm gonna do that. And that is by no means an A+ setup. So I will wait. Measured move was hit nicely, and you said longing the shit out of something, so I hit the long button. Anyone know what Dow is doing? Oof. I actually can't. It's YM. I forgot for a second what the Dow was even called on the futures. It's doing kind of the same sort of thing. It did shoot up quite a bit. It's way more in a discount. Has some nice highs to target. But, like, really, Geordie, you should be embarrassed that you just asked what the Dow was doing. That's a horrendous statement. Oh, that daily order block reaction, though, is clean on the Dow. Look at that. Is that the exact... What's that number? 45003. What's the low? 45000. That's pretty cool. Yesterday's... That's when NQ swept its daily sell side. Pretty cool. Anyway, back to markets that we actually care about. See, what is concerning me is you see this head and shoulders reversal pattern. That's quite worrying because, you know, retail is everything. Toxic ICT trader strikes again. Glad I didn't take that 1 minute I mean, it wasn't even there anyway. Actually, no. Oh, no, it wasn't. It wasn't even a fair value gap. Even if it was there, there was probably no chance I was taking that. Look at that consolidation. Ugh. Where was first presented? Have we even had one? Oh, yeah, it was there. We've known that he's a magician. I mean, he is the wizard. He is the whiz. We've known this for a while, Geordie. Okay, so far, losing trade aside, this is pretty ideal for me. If we can reach into this 15 and then get a trade entry for from there. Pretty ideal for me personally. What does concern me is that this was kind of a big day. But it wicked, so that kind of made me think like, should be okay. But it was massively beyond the range of the previous 3 days, so you could definitely consider this a large range day. But I don't know. For me, I don't. For me, large range days is more when it's like moves in a direction and like carries on moving in that direction. You know, not like a jump down and wick sort of ideal. But I guess you could definitely argue that it was a large range day. I take more losses than all of you combined, probably too. Yeah, but you're still the wizard. You always will be. High time frame is sideways, yeah. It depends. For me, it's bullish, like gun to my head today at least, just because of this massive wick and closed in this upper portion of this. But if we obviously move down today, I'll look to short this again. It's just the fact that this was so aggressive coming back up yesterday. It made me think, oh, maybe we're actually done to the downside. Here's the 15-minute, right on time, 10 AM news. Ugh. But also on NQ, we have those equal highs. That's what I'm really excited to long for. But I'm longing ES because ES is stronger on the high time frames. I'm saying that, oh, it's a mess on the high time frames. Like, ES didn't get as low as NQ yesterday relative to those lows. But NQ has gone higher, so it's actually pretty tricky to figure out which one to trade. But I'm just going to go with my gut and just trade ES. Right, where is a swing high? Okay. That's my market structure shift swing high, around about there. 10 AM news in 1 minute and 10 seconds. I see that too, but I can't help think there's a shit ton of liquidity down there. Yeah. Yeah. You are correct, Geordie, I will say. That's why I say, like, gun to my head. I would say longs probably today, but would not be, like, surprised if it wants to close lower and go for those lows. But I also, yeah, it's pretty 50-50. But gun to my head, it's like 60-40 for longs. NQ, I'd be way more confident saying to NQ, oh yeah, that's a long day. Because it's just swept that liquidity. and it swept it and wicked all the way back up and closed in this imbalance. ICT just posted that he took a trade today. And it said NQ 2400 draw, so I'm guessing he sold towards those lows, if I had to guess. Based off what? God knows. I'll look later, I guess. 10 AM news is here. Oh, my knees hurt. I need to adjust. No point me really watching the 5 minute here. I basically have to watch the 1 minute. Now we have this buy side up here as well. Okay. I kind of have to only go in with one contract here. I'd ideally want it to come up a little bit so I can long this in a discount. But okay, yeah, it's doing that. That's good. Yeah, okay. If that candle closes, I'm gonna set my limit. We also have SMT with NQ. Added cherry on top. Which actually says that NQ is the ideal one to long here, so maybe I long NQ. What'd the risk be? It looks like it'd be too much. Yeah, way too much. I'm not going to micros, I can't be bothered. Let's at least just for actually, because I'm going to micros, could be my best bet actually, considering partials is a thing. I'm gonna go 4 micros on NQ instead, if I can be fast enough. Oh, this is a bit tricky. Hopefully this doesn't, like, run away. That'd be a shame. I need to go onto NQ. Oh wow, it's basically at those highs already. Oh no, I'll add OTA. so many lines. I can't really enter there, it's just too big of a stop loss. This 1 minute is really my hope. But I'm getting pretty sus of it, to be honest. Oh no, I lost it. Let's just change my thing to micros so I can frame this risk properly. Because this 2 minute is just about in a discount, but yeah. Three from the 2 minute, but then I have a pretty stinky risk to reward. Let's just hope for the 1 minute. There was the ES entry. Oh wait, no, that wasn't the ES entry. The ES entry was there. It came into a discount. That's what it did do. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I have the correct draw, but I'm not getting filled. Sad to see, to be honest. Got a random first presented on there. Do I? Yeah. Just because ES has more upside room, I'm going to long that from that 2 minute because that is a discount. And that's purely because ES has a lot of upside room, so I do think it's not outrageous. And NQ also has equal highs up there to reach for. Oh wait, no it doesn't. The way up there, they are equal highs, but not as close as I thought they were. This is a bit scary though, because it's hit that daily fair value gap low as well as swept equal highs, but I don't mind going in with like the half risk that I'm going in with. And I'm longing in a discount, so... Ugh. That's probably going to be it as far as my entries. Like, if I get filled on that, then good. If not, then probably won't get filled. I still wouldn't have got filled on ES. Unless that... Was that 2 minute in a discount? I don't think it was. No, it wasn't. The 1 minute was my entry, and it would have literally felt like 1 tick short from the looks of it. Yeah, literally 1 tick short. Oh, that'd have been annoying. It still looks like it could fill though, so. So does NQ. But if we break above this high and start expanding up that, that's a worrisome thing. I'm just gonna look for hourly targets, to be honest, or 4 hour maybe. Nah, hourly. I like that as far as targets. So wherever my entry is, like somewhere down there, stop loss like that low, and then that'll be, I don't know, partial 1, partial 2, partial 3. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Am I filled? Potentially. I'm gonna get rid of this sell thing and just drag it so I like can see the dollar amount. Okay, let's see if I was... I'm over leveraged slightly. Oh well. Let's see if it was a stupid thing to long. This is something I very rarely do. Long into like into equal highs that have just been taken. I'm on NQ, for God's sake. I could have sworn when I went on a MNQ and did the measurement from that to that. Oh god, that's a short. It looks like I'm getting stopped as well. Yeah, look. 13, 17. Okay, why is that so different? Project X, you have got a faulty price level there. Because this says the low of that 1002 candle is 1350. I'm on the 3 minute chart. That's why I've been a fucking idiot. Yeah, that's funny. At least I know why. Oh, ES would have stopped me out. Interesting. Oh, that's a very rough day. Why are you at the back? Oh god, my NQ chart is a mess. It's not organised at all. Maybe we are bearish. If we are, then I'll probably get a short tomorrow. God, that's such a mess on NQ. Big ass consolidation. of the AM session. I'm thinking that this was probably a bad day to trade because of Monday's large, well, Tuesdays, because Monday and Tuesday were 2 days in one. But it wasn't even a large range on NQ actually. It was an ES. But NQ, what, 527? Day before that, 364. Day before that, 300. Okay, yeah, it probably was a large range day still. 300, 300, and then 520. ES definitely was. NQ, a little bit less, but still probably was. This is just about respected, so that's good. Thankfully, I didn't take like my max loss on the first trade. So I'm not actually over, like, even if I lose this trade, I'm not over leveraged on the day. Like, I'm still within the dollar amount that I would lose on like a max, on a 2-loss day. At max risk, I'm actually under that, I'm pretty sure. I'll be like 700. The maximum amount I should lose on a single day if I'm max risking both trades is like 750. 500 on the first one and 250 on the second one. But I believe I lost about 400 on the first one. Maybe like 420. So, and then 280, 270 on this. So, yeah, I'm around about 750. I'll be under it. I can't be bothered to work it out with an open position because the numbers will keep changing. I haven't been reading chat, I just realised. Apologies. Yeah, you did very well today, Dompy. Whether luck's a part of it or not, but you definitely did well. What did I miss? Just go back to my computer. Long DS at open. I don't know if you were here. I pretty think you were here for that. Long DS at open, got stopped. Then it retraced into my like ideal place I was looking to long. And reacted really nicely with 10 AM news being the displacement driver. Then I was trying to long it and noticed that NQ actually, at least on a zoomed in chart, NQ looks stronger. So decided to long NQ instead of ES, and that's where we are right now. This is a bit of a scary entry. This is assuming that we're basically going to have a bullish day. Not just sweep those equal highs and go lower, because I've essentially longed into this after it swept these equal highs, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get some bullish movements. I ended up longing on this 3-minute though because I did an idiot move. So what I will do is take first partial there. Yeah, okay. First partial at 8.4. Let me go on a 15-minute and just see what like high that's anchored to, and then I can do the same thing on Project X. That high there. I might just leave that on to see if it can get that. That'll be pretty nice. What's that? 8.4. 8.450. That should be 5.0950 really, shouldn't it? What does it say here? No, it says 5.11 on that. You're 5.11. You're 5.5.25. Okay. Now we just let it ride and see if we can manage to turn this into a winning day. Or at least a break-even day. I keep thinking NQ needs to clean up low. Down here, yeah, I would as well, except for the SMT with the S. ES already cleaned all that up. I'm gonna do this from my actual, like, ideal entry. 8450. Oh, come on, just give me 8450, there you go. Quadrants. Okay, I can reduce my stop by 25%. Which I will do. I'll move my stop below this low once we break that high. That's what I will do. ES not being able to break above that first presented is concerning me. This is the fair value gap I should have entered off if I wasn't an idiot, and that was another thing, Journey, which you weren't here for. When I went to enter on NQ, I wanted to enter on this 2-minute fair value gap here when we dipped into it here. Quite stupidly, I didn't realize that Project X was on a 3-minute chart, so I actually entered on this fair value gap here. So my entry was, what, maybe 5 points higher than it should have been. Because I was confused, I dragged my stop loss down, and it was 270, which when I measured it, it should have been like 249. So I was like, what? Why is Project X being weird? It's got the wrong number. Little did I know. I just stupidly entered on the wrong time frame. I don't think I've ever done that before. It's quite funny. I entered long on a green candle, scalped another 10 points. Nice. Wished I held the long to the top of the range. Going to take another breather. Everyone wishes they held along to the top of the range, Journey. Don't beat yourself up for not holding. That's like me saying, I wish I entered at low of day and exited at high of day. You are human, Mr. Journey. Be human. I shorted from first presented to the 1 hour fair value gap and then longed it to the 1 hour. Alright, Geordie, flexing. Wait, I shorted from first presented to the 1 hour fair value gap, then longed it from the 1 hour fair value gap back to first. Yeah. So you shorted this and then longed this. Why are you saying what the hell's wrong with me? Is that not a... You not take 2 back-to-back winning really good trades? Or am I being an idiot? From my understanding, you just said that you shorted from either from here to here, and then, well, really, you either shorted from here to here, and then longed it from there to there, because this 15-minute is basically where the 1 hour is, or you shorted it from here and longed it to there. Either of those situations, you did very well, so I'm confused why you said what's wrong with you. Oh, you should have entered long on the red. Okay. Yeah, well, maybe just highlight that in, like, if you do a journal entry tonight. But other than that, don't beat yourself up for... I now understand what you mean, where you say, I wish I held... Oh, wait, no. No, that's still... The point I said to that still makes sense, but yeah. Entering on a green, not a red. Yeah, that'll be a journal entry right there. Oh, you never did too much clicking in a short space of time. Made cash, though. Degen habits creeping back in. Okay, yeah. Well, now it makes sense why you were complaining, at least. I was like, you literally shorted the high and longed the low. What do you mean? What's wrong with me? You're clearly the algorithm, Mr. Geordie. But you weren't the algorithm. You were just degen button smashing, it turns out. Ugh. Is this just going to consolidate, do you reckon? Or do you reckon it's going to break out? Looks like it could have the potential to break out. But if we are in a consolidation... I don't know. I don't get why today would be a consolidation day, personally. Okay, there's a tap above the high. Now, is it going to like retrace to the other end of the range, or is it going to actually decide that it wants to go up finally? I want it to pretty convincingly move beyond this high, not just tip above it. Then I'll move my stop up slightly. Okay, that's convincing enough of a move for me. Stop just below that low. Each one of those blue lines is a partial, except from this one. This one can get gone. The good old 10-20, 10-25 move. My dog's here looking at me like, take me for a walk before you blow it. Yeah, probably a good idea. You can just watch the stream on the walk, Jordy, so you don't feel like you're missing out. Just, I was gonna be really, I was gonna say put me in your pocket, but that feels, ugh. Forget I said that. What fair value gaps do we have in this run here? We have this one. Is that a discount from this range to the... barely. That's like as far as I'd expect that to go back down. Nice to see that NQ is the one that's ahead of ES now. NQ's above this high on ES. So at least I so far look to see, or so far seem to have picked the correct indice to long. Let's maximize NQ just so we can not be overstimulated. Let's also label these. This is buy side, this is buy side, and this is buy side, but it's also previous day's high. I'm just looking at let this play out. If this wants to stop me, that's fine. If it doesn't stop me, then that's also fine. But I'm gonna sit here until 11, and then after 11 I'll probably just, like, depending no matter where, if the trade's still like running, I'll just let it run, but I'm not gonna sit here and babysit it the whole day. Do-do-do. ES left equal highs. That makes me feel good. For continuation. Ugh. It's time to relax. Wait, where's the lever? Oh, there we go. Can you guys even hear me? Let me direct the microphone so it's... There we go. Let's just sit and watch this trade together, boys. Win or lose. Hope everyone's having a nice day. What have I done today? I've not been going to the gym recently. I've been slacking with the gym. But that's partly down to me just not having a car. I haven't had a car since I've came back from Spain. But I am getting one. I have paid for one. It's just currently being serviced. That's an update on my life. But I'm going to get back into the gym promptly. By next week, I'll be back into a gym routine, I'm sure. I've also ordered myself some creatine. And I've ordered myself ashwagandha, actually. That's another thing that I've ordered that I'm trying out. I've taken it before for like a month, but I don't think I took it enough to notice like anything really useful with it. And I also saw I watched a YouTube video like maybe a week ago that was like it's called, oh no, I've just took my chain off. It's called, the channel's called Renaissance Periodization. It's a weird name, but it's basically a guy called Dr. Mike Israetel. He's like a fitness science bro dude. And it was him talking about his recent study on ashwagandha, saying that it's actually got quite a bit of scientific evidence behind it now, that it helps lower stress. And because obviously my anxiety is a thing, it helps with that. Massively helps with that, which obviously, if you're highly stressed, which like also includes anxiety, that, yeah, the bald guy. Yeah. But yeah, if you're stressed, then even anxiety, that's stress, you have a lot of cortisol in your body, and cortisol is like literally the counter opposite to testosterone. So if you're very stressed, then you're likely got low testosterone. So I've bought like a 90-day capsule, like serving size. It literally cost me like, in dollars, probably like literally $3 or $4 US. So yeah, I'm gonna be taking that and see if I notice any improvements like mentally and physically. I can't read the chat, it's so far away. You've been taking it for around a month now. Have you noticed anything, Jordy? Have you got any reviews that you can share with the group? Because I did take it for about a month and I didn't really notice anything, to be honest. But like when I was taking it, like I was not an anxious person, so I can't really speak to how much it helped me with anxiety. And I also didn't. I'm just thinking, do I move my stop up once this partial gets taken? Probably leave it where it is, to be honest, because it could come down and fill in that fair value gap a bit more. But yeah, last time I took it, I probably took it for about a month. I didn't notice anything. Creatine, I haven't been taking creatine either since like Bali. So I've ordered a big bag of creatine because I'm always so much stronger in the gym when I've had creatine. More relaxed, I guess, but I'm at the point where I don't know if it's a placebo. Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it? You don't know if it's actually working or if you're just convincing yourself that it's working. Either way, it works. That's a funny thing I've always thought about a placebo effect. It's like, well, it's not actually doing anything, but because I think it is, it is. So it actually works. Okay, we're getting some nice upwards expansion here. Give me that first partial. Bum, 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 bum. What's also helpful right now is I've got ES on the screen next to me. I've got NQ on this screen, and then I've got ES on the other screen. But that's just because it's my like new day opening gaps, new week opening gap screen. ES has just popped above high of day. If you're looking from 9:30 onwards, ES has just popped above its 9:30 high, which on NQ is not correlated really at all. They've moved pretty differently today. Don't you dare stall above my first partial. That is rude. Oh, so very rude. I tell you what though, pretty happy with my pre-market analysis today. Pretty happy with it. I might even go back and whack do another section of the video where I talk about after the fact, because I quite literally said today I want to see us come into this fair value gap and then expand higher. And what more can you ask for, really? I tell you what I can ask for. I can ask for this first damn partial. Ask and you shall receive. Now, do I go break even? What's the balance looking like? Realized 280. I'm gonna go break even. What's the 1 minute look like? The issue is I feel like it could come down below. You know what? I'll move my stop here. I'm happy with it there. I wanted to reduce it because I like this to come back against me and basically knock out all the profit I just made from that first partial. Don't really want to do that. But going to break even just feels like a bit too premature. Once we get this, if I get the second partial, then I'll go break even. Or at least close to it. Because by then we're so far gone from this range, then if it wants to come and stop me at break even, then it's more than welcome to. And I'll just let that ride until if it wants to get to previous day's high. We'll see. I feel like this is a good spot to reach for, right? Higher time frame on NQ, I want this. I'm still annoyed at myself for entering on the 3 minute and not the 2. What would I have? So okay, wait. Let's go on to. This is purely for my own sanity. I want to know. I want to know the dollar amount that I like fucked myself over with. So I entered here. And my stop was here. So to that first partial, which was like 84.50. Looks about right. I made what? 130. Someone just tried to call me. I should have made, if I wasn't a dumb, an extra like $8. Oh well. Let me just message. That was my sister trying to call me. Let me message her real quick. Nice nice expansion. Like I say, I'll go break even once I get that second partial. That's my plan. Gonna take a 10-minute breather, BRB. You go take that breather, Geordie. 5-minute measured move to 1.0 is 490. Oh, so it already just hit. What's my risk to reward been on this entry? Well, let's see what it actually is, and then let's see what it should have been. Oh, I didn't enter there, I entered here. So the first partial, it was 1 to 1.4. We'll round that up to 1 to 1.5. Oh, no, we won't, because it wasn't 8. Yeah, never mind. And then next one, 1 to 2. One after that, 1 to 2.9. What should it have been? So 1 to 5, roughly. 1 to 2, roughly. 1 to 3, roughly. Should have been like a 1 to 3.4 at the max take profit. 1 to 1.75 or 1.7. 1 to 1.23. Okay. But the fact that I obviously like risked more kind of averages it out, to be honest. I just realized that you guys could have told me that my Safari was extended across the whole screen. Just been covering the chart for like the past 10 minutes. Okay, let's go to break even. Now we will let the rest ride, or the last contract. We will let the last contract ride for previous day's high. There we go. Second partial booked. Doodaloo, doodaloo. I'm going to trail up to this low and no further. Way to hold a trade. Looks like a nice trade going, man. Love the patience. We will ignore that the entry looks strange for you. Yeah, I'm very happy with today. Very, very happy with today. Well, it could have gone better because this is a deleveraged trade since the first one was lost. But have I recovered the... I've basically recovered the first trades. Well, I have recovered the first trades thing. If I was patient and actually waited for like my A+ setup, not just trying to FOMO into it at the open, then this would have been a much cleaner day. Like if I had the proper entry, could I have taken that on? Yeah, no, would have had to be on micros. Let's frame it. Well, we can just do the math roughly. Let's say I got about 82. Let's say I had $400 risk on this roughly. I can't be bothered to do the maths actually, because that's way more confusing than I thought it would have been. If I got the entry I actually was meant to get and hadn't fucked up the first part of the day, oh, I could have got 6 contracts on. Okay, well that makes it pretty difficult because then you don't have no idea, like partial wise, what I would have done. Let's just assume I would have made roughly just under double, since it's half the risk. And I wouldn't have taken the initial $400 loss. You kept saying it makes no sense to not expand up today. I kept thinking, you sure? That's because I'm the algorithm, Mr. Wiz. You'll be amazed. I'm going to post a video on like Friday probably. You'll be amazed to see the like when this was when ES, because it was ES that I did it on, and I did it about here where that white line is. All this price action hadn't happened yet, and I essentially said that I drew this 15-minute up, and I said I want to see this draw into this 15-minute and then displace higher. And I have the proof. Like, I will prove it. And not only did I just call it, I called it and traded off of it. So, even though, not only did I call it and trade off of it, I called it and traded off of it and switched indices to the ideal indice to trade. Because if I had entered on the second trade on ES, I would have been knocked out here. I think. Yeah, look at that SMT there. So this is the retracement on NQ that I entered on. This is that retracement on ES. So if I had entered on ES, I would have been stopped out. But because I saw that NQ was relatively stronger, I was able to trade NQ, or make the choice to trade NQ, which then resulted in a very nice run instead of a second stop out on the day. So really, not a bad day at all. They're going to throw you in the back of a van and talk with you if you're not careful. Oh, they've already done that, Dompy. I'm going to start talking. I'm going to start blinking in Morse code on streams. I have no idea if that was Morse code, but in my head that was help for Morse code. I should blink I am the algorithm in Morse code. Ba-da-da-da-bum-bum-bum. Ba-da-bum. Ba-ba-da-ba-dum. Just make a fist and cover your thumb. Thank you, Journey. Thank you. Oh, Cooper. Great minds. I still remember the days. Like, a lot of you boys, well, I mean, all of you are in the Discord, but me and Coop have a very special Discord bond because we would sit in Discord calls for hours and just watch the market. We'd sit in private Discord calls and just watch the market for hours. It's always nice when I see the Coops traded the same way. Entry is a bit higher, took a partial up to 23,511, last contract 23,555. Yeah, that's roughly where I am. Yeah, on micros, yeah. On micro, my last one is 23,555. I entered with 3 micros. I took one partial at each of these buy-side objectives. So one partial at 84.50, second partial at 511 actually, because on the micro this 509 one was 511, so I was with you on that partial. And then yes, final take profit at previous day's high. It's just on the micro, it's the prices are a bit different. Because this is previous day's high on the micro at 555, yeah. Just for some reason on the mini it's 5.2. But well done, Mr. Cooper. I applaud you, sir. We do have the macro now, so let's hope that we can get this to take profit. I will sit and see if this hits take profit on stream since it's so close. I was getting ready to have to leave the stream with this still running, but it's so close that I may as well stay just in case it hits on stream. But if it starts retracing, then I will end the stream and just let it run. I'm not going to move my stop. My stop is where it is. Previous day heights, yeah. Well, it's just because of the way I'll take profits with the 2022. It's like the final real portion of a trade that I'm in. If it's going to be targeting something, it's going to be targeting either like a real high time frame objective or just previous day's high is a pretty simple. Like if it's going to go above all this liquidity, high probability target is previous day's high. Since most of the time it'll reach for that if it's going up. Beyond that, there's no real close target beyond that really. You just if you're gonna hold beyond previous day's high, and you're assuming that this is gonna be a real expansion day in the like a continuation in the afternoon, which actually I probably would say this could continue in the afternoon, but you'd probably just hold until the last hour and literally close at like 4 p.m. is what I would do if I was doing that. It's nice that this has just kind of been a straight run up though, and not like a high resistance liquidity run. I mean, they've not really expanded a lot, but it has been majority of the candles bullish candles. I thought I was going to lose that trade when it first shot down. This shot down so fast, I was like, oh, that's another losing trade. And then it just shot back up just as fast. 582 midpoint on the 4 hour, so be low for the 2. 4 hour, wait. Sorry, Journey. 582, midpoint of the 4 hour Sibi. Lower of the 2. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad target either. I tend not to target fair value gaps, though. I'll target fair value gaps as targets, normally for my first, like, partial, funnily enough. Which is a bit weird. I don't know why I ever did that. I always seem to target liquidity. I target, like, just whatever I can for my first partial, and then I target liquidity for everything else. Like, right now, you probably could target this daily Sibbies. Where's the daily Sibbies lower quadrant? I just hit it, 525. Oh, yeah, literally just hit it to the tick. Oh, no, it didn't. It fell 1 tick short. But, like, you could probably target that as well, but I don't know. I'd rather... I think because liquidity levels are so much more prominent, I guess. Not prominent. What's the word I'm looking for? There's less of them. Like, there's only one previous day's high, so it makes it an easy choice. Whereas, like, if you split this into quadrants, you would... Like, unless you have a lot of contracts, you can't exactly take a partial at every single one of them. What I probably should have done is maybe left 2 contracts on for that one. But I'm not that mad. My thought process for targets is normally like previous session highs, and both of these are kind of Asian session. So, and this is the Asia session high, really. So potentially didn't need to target that, but was it a bad partial? No. So, like, it was still a 1 to like 1.7 if I had entered from the proper entry. Yeah, still 1 to 1.7. By no means a bad partial. It was in reality like a 1 to 1.4. Still by no means a bad partial. We're getting a little retracement here. We have this 15-minute fair value gap forming in 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Lower of the Sibbies, yeah, I figured. Got some sell side building up here. Back to relaxing. Ugh. Feel like every time I take this position, my my trade expands. Bum, bum, bum. I'm so fucking bored. Do you know what I'm gonna end this stream, and when I do, I'm gonna go straight into recording the latter portion of that video that I recorded the start of earlier. That's what I will do. I'm that bored, I'm gonna check my emails off screen. Oh, the headphones are getting too much. Ooh, my protein order got dispatched. Lovely stuff. Be with you shortly. Estimated between Friday and Saturday. That feels slow, considering I ordered it like 2 days ago. In America, can't you get, like you can order stuff and it gets there the same day? Is that a thing in America? Because you poor Americans would not be able to function in the UK, because that is not a thing here. At best, you get next day delivery here. You don't get same day delivery. Like, no matter what. No matter when you order it, you're not getting it on the same day. Yeah, you can. That's outrageous. Amazon's, that's... Yeah, best thing you get in the UK is Amazon next day delivery. You do not ever, you can't possibly get same day. That is outrageous. God forbid you got same day delivery in the UK. People would just be ordering shit constantly. That doesn't even make sense to me. Like, how are you able to order something and then it gets there that day? Like a parcel, like an actual thing, not like a meal or something. Like, literally, you go on Amazon and you can just, that's how it's... And you live in the middle of nowhere, yeah, that's... God, maybe I need to move to America. You know, that would genuinely be bad. If I was considering, like, moving to America, that would absolutely push me over the edge to go. If someone just said to me, like, oh, by the way, we have same day delivery here, and I didn't know, I'd be like, sorry, what? I'd be booking the flight, like, that moment. Oh god, I took my glasses off now, I can't read. The warehouse is just down the street. Oh, well, that's okay. I mean, there's a warehouse, there's like warehouses just down the street from me, but you still don't get next day delivery because the parcel needs to get there to the warehouse, no? The parcel needs to go from wherever it is to the warehouse, then it goes to the warehouse to you. That's how it works here, at least. I order a strange car part and boom, how the hell did they have that in stock here? That alone isn't worth it. It is for me, Journey. It is for me. We have different priorities. Is that 15? Yeah, that 15 minute will have formed now. I'm gonna sit here until the end of this macro. So you got me for another 10 minutes, and then I'm just gonna let this play out and see if it wants to stop me at break even or get high of day, or get previous day's high. That sounded a little bit like an arsehole comment. You've got me for another 10 minutes. I didn't mean it that way, boys. You know me. The warehouse holds some stuff? Yeah, but how much stuff? God damn, how big's this warehouse? Like, they must have so much, like, random stuff in there. That's outrageous. There was a shooting on the second day of elementary school for a Catholic church less than a mile from my house. So, yeah, maybe not then. Maybe not. Saying that, there isn't, like... It's kind of the same thing here, but it's more, like, obviously we don't have guns. It's stabbings. And you can't exactly mass stab like, you can't go to a church and do a mass stabbing. So there is that. But we definitely do have a big problem with knives. I feel like if we had guns in the UK, I feel like we'd be even worse than America for gun crime. Just because British people get so annoyed over such little things. Like, if you don't hold the door open for someone, they'd probably shoot you. Acres? God, for Jesus Christ. That's outrageous. I wouldn't be surprised if because you've got so much land in America, I wouldn't be surprised if that warehouse is, like, literally the size of my entire town that I live in. What is crazy is I almost did, because I almost moved to, well, not almost, but it was absolutely a possibility. It was by no means like, oh, we're looking at houses and, like, looking at flights, but it was absolutely a possibility that I could have moved to America when I was younger, like, because of my dad having some sort of business opportunity there, but it didn't happen. But I would have moved to Wisconsin, so I'd be with Mr. Cooper. Holy stalling indeed. Let me just call the market makers real quick. Let me send them a strongly worded email. US is fine. News do focus on the that's the same thing with all news places. They just highlight bad stuff. I used to live off 8 Mile, right, Eminem. Dom P, our local Slim Shady. But did you live in? Slow down, Brad. Will you have lived in or near 8 Mile in Detroit when Eminem was, like, coming up, Mr. Wiz? How long ago did you live there? Don's the real Slim Shady. Mr. Wiz is the only rapper that Eminem fears. Because when was Eminem, like, let's Google this. When did Eminem, I'm typing in caps, live in Detroit? Gotta be like the early 2000s. Mid-90s. When was Dom P? You did? Oh yeah, that's cool. I didn't know him and did not hang out with that crowd. Yeah, well, That don't surprise me. From the movie I saw. My son used to ask me that all the time. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's still cool that you can be like, oh, I was in Detroit, like in 8 Mile when Eminem was coming up. Like that's a pretty cool thing to be able to say. He was local known a little, yeah, makes sense. Journey got sick holding this long. I'm patient 0 for holding the long. I can't physically. I was gonna say I can't get sick, but if I'm patient 0, it means I was the first person that was sick. I'm the disease itself. The disease can't get sick. What about Coop? Is Coop still managing to hold this? Rice farmer? Damn, you have a kid? I don't have a kid. If you're talking to me, I don't have a kid. I'm 21. 21, getting ready to turn 22. Still in, Cooper? Nice. At least I don't have a kid that I know about. Oh god, yeah, no, that makes sense, Journey. I would not be holding, not with Apex. I'm kind of thinking this sell side's gonna get swept, and then that at the same time will be a tap into this 15-minute fair value gap, and then if we're gonna get sent to previous day's high, I'd guess that we do it from there. What's ES doing? Same sort of thing, just stalling. Bum 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 bum. I'm thinking, where could I jam my stop up to? But to be honest, to be fair, 432. But even that is just like not really. There's no point in me moving up to there. I was gonna move it to the low of this candle, but okay, that stop hunt is happening. That stop hunt is happening now. So let's see what happens here. Do we displace lower, or do we move our asses higher? No problem holding Apex when you're already in drawdown. Yeah, that's a good point. But I absolutely could not hold a trade like this. I mean, I could. I would be a lot more stressed. Because, like, ultimately... Well, no, you could. You just have to trail a lot tighter than me. Because since I'm on end of day drawdown, I have the comfortability to just move this to a place I'm comfortable with it being and just letting it play out. But if you're on an intraday drawdown account, then you absolutely could not do you could do this, just not the way I'm doing it. You'd have to trail much tighter. I'd probably just trail below. I don't know where I'd even trail to. That's the issue. You don't know really. Like you can make some sort of guess based on solid foundations, but ultimately you're trailing too tight. But you have to if you're using intraday. Is there an SMT at that low? I'm curious. Yep. Nice SMT there. I like that for continuation. We're at where we are when I said I would end the stream, but I feel like this might get there now, so we're gonna stay. I mean, I'm gonna stay. You guys don't have to stay. Ba-dum-bum. I feel like if we do start displacing above this high, though, that we've put in here, I might honestly just jam my stop up to this low now. Because there should be no reason for it to go below this low if it displaces above these highs, since this is the stop run. So I would be comfortably jamming my stop up to there if we start displacing higher. Because then I can lock in a significant amount of profit. Mm-mm-mm. 5-minute NQ looks like a hairy red spider on my chart. What? A hairy red spider? I don't see the vision, Dumpy. What's my lighting battery? Okay, I think we should be okay. I thought we were gonna have that situation where my lighting runs out in the middle of the stream again. I don't have the buy side thing marked up down, yes. That's weird. Why? Okay, so if this does come lower, then I just don't really. I will hold it. I will hold this thing. Because what this could be doing now, since we're going close, the closer we get into the lunch hour, I think that this is gonna just retrace and then continue in the PM. But obviously I'm not going to sit here and stream that whole process. Dudes must like stream. Indeed they should. Indeed they should. Look at those 8 legs. Wait, let me get on this 5-minute. I'm on the 5-minute. I have a black background. Okay, let's get a black background. We're also dipping quite strongly here. Look at those 8 legs, the wicks and tails. What, like here? Journey does get you. That doesn't surprise me that you two get each other. I still don't see it. I'm sorry. Let's have that. I don't know. I don't know if I like that, actually. Let's go back to that one. I like this just because it's brighter. A little bit brighter. It's not like overly bright, but does the job. I'm giving up. No, I don't. Stop trying to explain the spider to me. I'm giving up on the spider vision. The only person more literal than you. I'm taking that as a compliment. The last 5-minute candles. I'm thinking of moving my stop below this 5-minute 10:35, but I don't know. No, I don't really want to, just because of the hourly. I'm very happy with my stop where it is, but obviously I'm not happy if it retraces all the way against me. I just don't think it will. I am going to finish up the stream though, because this seems to just be doing a kind of classic retrace into the lunch hour. Maybe it might even get there in the lunch hour. I don't know, but I'll check back on it later. I'm quite happy where I am here. What's the hourly look like? It helps me see it compared to where my... Yeah, see, where's that? What's that measurement? What's that? 57? Yeah, I don't want to... I was going to move it all the way up here, but I doesn't feel right. What's discount from this range? Boom, boom, boom. Not really anything. Yeah, maybe I'll get stopped to break even. Maybe I won't. Either way, I'm gonna hold it. What have I got to lose? $100? If it comes all the way back. Use your right brain. I don't have a right brain. I'm all left. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and then I'll just do like a post in the Discord, so you guys will see what the outcome of this trade is. I mean, you'll be able to tell obviously anyway, because you'll be watching the chart. I have no doubt. But my stop's below this low. It's not moving, and yeah, we'll see how that one goes, and I will let you boys know when I get filled. But I will see you boys tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow, even though it's NFP Thursday. Obviously, NFP Thursday this week is actually a good day to trade, so... yeah, I'll see you boys then. Have a good afternoon, or evening, or morning, depending on